Will Gunther make John Cena tap out in his last match? But before we can get into that, we got to talk about the rest of the Saturday Night's main event card, starting with Bayley versus Soruka. Bayley historically has put over more talent than she really should. But in this case, Soruka is clearly being positioned as the future of the women's division. She's always being featured in NXT posters all the time. I think clearly they're building up to be the next phase. So I don't see why she wouldn't win, especially someone like Bailey who can take a loss, who and not be really affected by it at all. I don't think people are going to go be up in arms if Bailey loses. So Bailey versus Suruka, I got Suruka. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Leon Slater and Javon Evans. I'm surprised that there's a TNA talent in here. So you already know what that means. Whenever his contract is up, he's going to be in WWE because they clearly have a lot of interest in him. He has been featured on NXT a lot. Like, you would think he was an NXT talent the amount of times he's been showcased on NXT. So to see him in an event like this is kind of surprising. I'm not gonna lie, but I got AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. I think with the way the Raw tag division is right now is very competitive, and you can't really have your champs lose before all the turmoil starts. Right? New Day, Usos, War Raiders, Creed Brothers, LWO, Judgment Day. Like it's a lot. Surprisingly, the Raw tag division has been picking up a lot lately, and I respect it. Not gonna lie. So I got the tag champs keeping the championships and winning. And then we have Oba family versus Cody Rhodes. I would love it if Oba were to win, but we're almost on the road to WrestleMania. Cody is the face of the company. Do I see him losing essentially in a exhibition match in the middle of December, right before WrestleMania or the road to WrestleMania begins? I don't see it. I don't. Again, a win for Oba would mean a lot, but the main roster audience aren't all that familiar with him, and a win would solidify that. It's just, I don't know. I just don't see Cody, especially coming off beating Drew, beating Roman, beating The Rock, beating Cena, losing to Obafemi. I don't. I think this match is also going to be really short. It's going to be closer to 5 to 10 minutes than it will be 15 to 20. I think it's on Peacock exclusively, so you don't really have to worry about like a time limit thing, but they usually like to keep it as like short as possible. Probably like 2.5 if they don't have a TV special. I'm not quite sure about that, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty short. I think it's gonna be really impactful. I got Cody with the win. Opa's still gonna look good in a loss. Cody has actually done a pretty good job at that, keeping his opponents still looking strong even in defeat, and I think this would be one of those cases. So owing for Oba would mean a lot. I personally would not be mad at it. I appreciate it. I would want it, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. And we got to talk about the Gunther and versus John Cena thing. The storyline of this story is Gunther wants John Cena to tap. He wants him to say I quit, right? And John Cena's whole message, his entire babyface run has been never give up. And how cathartic would it be to see him give up in the very last match? That would be long-term storytelling. But personally, whenever WWE says or a wrestler says, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, there's a 90% chance they don't do it. Please. I just don't see it. Again, it's a 10% chance of happening. It is Gunther. If anyone were to do it, it would be him. John Cena historically doesn't tap out. I think he taps like 4 times his entire career. In 2 of them were at Kurt Angle. One was at Chris Jericho, and I forgot the last one. But yeah, historically, this man does not lose via tapping. And the Gunther, it would massively push him even further than he already is. Honestly, he doesn't really need that kind of submission style rub, considering he's already like the submission specialist of WWE right now, so he doesn't really need that. But I can see them going down that road. Another possibility, in my personal favorite option, have him pass out, simply because you can still have him lose, right? You can still have him be like, oh, I never gave up, and retirement tours or retirement matches historically retire the wrestler. They usually lose. So I don't see John doing all this showcasing the future, the next generation via this NXT showcase matches and losing to Brock Lesnar because he said, yeah, I don't need the win, so he doesn't really need this win either. So he's going to lose. It's just a matter of how: pinfall, submission, or tapping out or passing out. So I don't personally like tapping out. Pinfall would be like your standard loss. Kinda, I'm not gonna say boring, but it's like it's your normal way to end the match. I do think they're gonna do something with submission, so it's kind of tap out or pass out. I personally prefer pass out, but let me know your thoughts. And that's it. John Cena's last match is tomorrow night, as of the recording of this video. Thank you. You've made me a wrestling fan. You, Randy, and Rey Mysterio are the three wrestlers that made me a wrestling fan. I remember having the spinner belt with your name on it and just imitating wrestlers with me and my cousin, and because of you, I probably wouldn't be a wrestling fan. So thank you. I wish you best in your future endeavors. Good luck in Hollywood or whatever else you're doing. Thank you. You kind of been part-time for since 2017, 2018, around there. So we've kind of slowly but surely gotten used to you not being around. But just to not have you appear anymore as a wrestler at all, not even having a thought, maybe what if he fights John? What if John comes back and fights such and such? But we won't have that anymore, so that's gonna hurt. But thank you. Have a great day. Drink water.